Shadow here, and yeah, it's time. It's time to share my thoughts, share my views. I decided this week to do something a little bit different. I want to intermix my favorite things, my two favorite things, which is professional wrestling and action figures. Yeah, I'm a big time action figure collector, and I am, yes, a retired professional wrestler and a retired radio talk show host. And so I figured this week what we would do was combine the two and tell a few tales and stories and things of that nature and give my point of view on a few things. And first is this. I've talked about many times about Jack Specific being one of my favorite toy designers or toy companies back in the day when they had the WWE Ruthless Aggression line of like super multi-articulated action figures. And I've talked about like some customized things or whatever that I like to dabble in and do and play with. So here I pulled out this guy. Yeah, the game, the game himself. And so you see, I added like a whole leather jacket and the pants, and then the Thor hammer, and then this gem or whatever and stuff. I used to like to do that because the Jack's action figures were just so well made, and you could articulate. They were articulated to a point where you could just pose them and just do some cool things. Along with somewhere down the line, I'll share like how I used to replace heads with some figures. I'll share some more of that later. But this in particular, I wanted to share was the game Triple H himself, because then and now. This is the Mattel. This is the Mattel Triple H, and the Mattel Triple H is like it's cool. It's all right. Like it's well articulated. It's a cool action figure. It's not the same size as the Jacks, as you can see, and just look at this guy. This guy was fucking huge. He was yoked back in the day, and Jax was able to just really translate the character, the face, the visual of these characters. The Triple H, the game, Ruthless Aggression, Jax figures, versus now the Mattels are a little bit more simple, more plastic, less designed in detail and stuff, which it does look like him, but this was Triple H. And that's what I loved about Jax. Jax was cool and stuff, and Jax just really made good figures versus what we get now with Mattel. So, in my thought process of everything and stuff, just looking at these two figures and like this is then and this is now, that's where we discussed the WWE and just looking at the idea of the then and now Triple H in the game and who he is and what he's accomplished. This guy was a professional wrestler. He at one point was like a jobber. He was at one point was a mid-carder. Then he evolved and escalated into something bigger and better and stuff. And then he got into this great storyline angle with Stephanie McMahon and China, and it was this whole big thing, a love triangle and everything and stuff. And where he eventually started dating Stephanie McMahon for real. And then, as time went on, yes, we all know Triple H married Stephanie McMahon. He's the game, and he played the game well, and he fell in love, and he was married to the boss's daughter. But he positioned himself to a point of now where he runs the WWE. And I give mad props to the guy because he's really taken this product and really made it fantastic, made it wonderful, made it incredible. I mean, the storylines that are going on right now with the Bloodline and after WrestleMania, the WrestleMania aftermath, it's fantastic because you're investing into young new talent and you're building and grooming young new superstars. And I think that even just the point of like Solo Sokoa, and where he's taking the Bloodline and Paul Heyman playing the victim or playing the scared wise man. He has no control over Solo and what Solo's going to do. And Tommy Tonga, Haku's son, coming in. Oh, man, freaking awesome. And it's just the question of who's coming in next. Who are we going to see next? That's the exciting part of the WWE and right now where they're going. It's exciting to see where Cody's going. Cody versus AJ Styles is going to be intriguing. The question is what they're going to do with LA Knight now, but looking at where Cody Rhodes is and where they're building him, and they're going to just put guys in front of him to knock down and keep him up there and stuff while we wait for the return of Roman Reigns. And just the thought process of just this past week, the fans were already chanting for Roman Reigns to return, man. That is insane. Like, he was the biggest heel in WWE, and now they're already chanting and wanting him to return. So the build up towards the return of Roman Reigns is going to be exciting. And speaking of Roman Reigns, we pull up, yeah, this one. Yeah, head of the table. He will return, and we will see. And this is another Mattel figure, which is like cool and everything. I wish I had a Jack Specifics Roman Reigns, but I don't. And I think that one other time I shared, like, I took a Jack's figure and I put Roman's head on it, which was really cool. So Roman's return will be soon, but quality stuff, you get variations of everything, and I like the factor of that and stuff. And then here's the question of The Rock. Yeah, The Rock. Will The Rock, when The Rock will return, he's going to come after Cody Rhodes. Now, this is another Mattel figure, and it's cool. But mind this, I got this at Target on clearance for like $6.50. This was before WrestleMania. This was like, I think during Christmas time or something, where The Rock was just out of sight, out of mind. And now that he's returned, I don't think we're going to see any Rock action figures on clearance anytime soon. I think we're going to see Rock's figures values go up and everything else like that. So if you got one, keep it. If you don't, get one. If you got some old school ones, get some. I do have some Jack specific ones, so I'm holding on to those. And then, yeah, as I mentioned about the action figures, we go to this guy here. Yeah, Damian Priest. Now, this is a Jack Specifics TNA action figure. This is actually Samoa Joe's body. And I had got this head, which was off of like this cheesy ass Mattel figure and stuff, but it was a cool head. So I took him, I put this robe or whatever on him and stuff. Damian Priest, dressed like a priest. My thoughts right now, until I get an actually good Damian Priest figure, I'll stick with this one right here. This is my thing right here. So Damian Priest is, you know, he's on the mantle, he's doing his thing. And then, of course, yeah, we're going back to the Jacks, back to the Jacks, back to the Jacks. This is one right here. This here, this is when he was Stardust, or when there was a Stardust, and I had several Cody Rhodes. So I put a little black stars, some stars on his arm, and I put him in this black joint and whatever stuff. And that's what I do just because I think it'd be kind of cool or whatever and stuff, but that's me. But yeah, these are the top guys right now, and you know, you're just looking at them and you just gotta ask the one question. It's just like, what happens leading up to SummerSlam? SummerSlam is going to be really intriguing to see how they build things up. It's going to be interesting to see where the bloodline is when SummerSlam rolls around. It's going to be interesting to see what Solo Sikoa does in these next couple of weeks, and who comes into the WWE that is part of the bloodline. I'm excited about that storyline more than anything else. But what I'm not excited about, AEW. I don't have any AEW figures to pull out right now. I did purchase a couple of them, but they're not like worth having a conversation about. But we will see if there is something that really kind of stands out, and I have to purchase it and get it and put it in my collection. All I can say is this: when you got a guy like Triple H who is doing his thing, you know, Levesque is just killing it right now as running the WWE, and then you got Tony Khan, who is not doing a good job right now. Everyone's talked about the CM Punk video and stuff, and the footage and everything, and you're saying, okay, cool, man, whatever. What about wrestling? And that's the only question we really have to ask this guy. It's like, what about wrestling? What about your product? What about AEW? What are you doing to build AEW up to be the next thing, to be that second tier thing, to be the competition for WWE, where people want to come to AEW to wrestle? You know, when John Moxley came, people were excited about AEW. People wanted to see wrestlers come and show up and get a second chance or what have you in AEW. But now it's like people want to leave, man, and the audience is leaving. Your audience is dropping, and you're not doing anything to make it better. Video packaging, storylines that matter, storylines that lead towards something is what's needed in AEW. There has to be a head of creative in AEW that can take this company to the next level, that can salvage what has been damaged with this company. And as long as Khan is running the show, and long as Khan is like calling all the shots, you're not even a Vince McMahon, bro. You're not even a Paul Heyman, bro. You're not even a Dixie Carter, bro. You're just like some fanboy just doing whatever he thinks is cool at the moment. And getting a plug, a ratings plug, a little thing, a stupid stunt, that's not going to help your business or your brand. You've got a lot of talented wrestlers that could be superstars. You have an opportunity to create new superstars and elevate guys that have been busting their asses for years. You have an opportunity to really build something nice and special. And it's like you guys do really hardcore wrestling and you do some really cool wrestling, but it doesn't matter if there's no, we're not invested into it. And until you do that, wrestling's not going to get any better when it comes to AEW. Wrestling is not going to get any better until you get someone or a group of creative team together that will basically plot out the next 3 months. Plot the next 3 months of television and deliver. And I guarantee you that your audience will start to come back. But if you don't plot anything for the next 3 months, you're not going anywhere. You got this big show in Winnipeg or wherever, in London, in England, at this big arena, 60,000 plus or whatever. It's not going to sell out because right now you can't even sell out local cities in the United States. So you've got to do something, and you've got to do it now, and you've got to work towards it. And it's not an overnight fix. This is literally spending the next 3 months with a plan. This is who I'm pushing. This is the storyline. This is the feud. That's what you need to build towards. And if you don't build towards something, you're going to have nothing, because I don't think you'll get a renewal contract. And honestly, you've got just, man, oh my goodness. Malachi Black and his team, you could build them up, man. You can make them like better than Judgment Day because they're very talented people. You've got Swerve Strickland, where it's like he's chasing the title, fantastic. Where are you going with Samoa Joe? Samoa Joe needs to pass the torch to the right person. And then honestly, Taz's son, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That kid needs to be sent to training, and he needs to work and train on his craft to be better, because the push that you guys are giving him on TV and showing how green he is, even in the storyline, it's making him look more, it's exposing him. I don't think they're doing any justice to Taz's son, and I think that they need to just pull that kid off of TV until he learns how to wrestle right. Until then, man, all I can say is AEW needs a good and a real creative team, and some guys need to be fired, man. Whoever is writing whatever's being written right now, some of these guys need to be fired. The only good thing right now is Swerve Strickland and Samoa Joe. That's all I can say. Other than that, there's nothing that's exciting me. Jon Moxley is just running around with a IDGDP title. Why you got all these titles in AEW and your titles mean absolutely nothing? Why are you highlighting and featuring all these other wrestling groups and all these other titles and stuff when AEW titles mean zero? That's the question you need to answer. And that's the question I'm asking the wrestling fans. What do AEW titles mean to you? What does AEW television mean to you? We'll dig into that in these next coming weeks and stuff. And we'll dig into some more action figures, and we'll be digging into some more things. And I've been like building up towards something, and I'm going to get to it. This one. Yeah, Skeletor. I'm going to open it. It's time to open it. Not today, but soon. I'll be opening this one. And we'll explore what Mattel has done with the Masters of the Universe collection of action figures. To the Pixelplex and the Inks guys, to the Tech Master who's killing it with the videos and his clips on wrestling, to everybody, man, we're just doing it. You know, just sign at the dotted, click on the bottom, subscribe to the Shadowe Knows Network, because we've got a lot of cool things coming up, and we're going to be doing some cool things, some innovative things, and exciting things, and talking about exciting things in the time to come. So stay tuned, stay tuned, because Shadow knew and Shadow knows.